Hi there, Release Fire here. So I'm going to talk you through how to beat, or how I managed to beat Shiva in Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's one of the VR missions to pick up the summons, which is Shiva. So you have to beat the boss Shiva to be able to pick up the summons, so it's well worth doing. However, the first time you come across this, you'll be on your own as Cloud, and it's probably best to wait until you get to Wall Market before actually taking it on, because this way you'll have Aerith on your team as well, and she'll be able to fight alongside you instead of just taking it on your own as Cloud. And then also, to make sure you used all of your weapon upgrades, you should also check your accessories to make sure you're maximizing all the things that can give you strength, power against Shiva. But the best thing to actually have applied is fire materia for both Cloud and Aerith, especially if one of you has upgraded to Fira, which I have for Cloud, because in the early phases you hit Shiva with that and she'll come down to the ground, and that'll give you a chance to roll on in and do a huge chunk of damage. If you can, for those ice shards, block them, and that will stop them doing quite so much damage. But the general gist is you just want to hit Shiva with as much fire damage as possible from both Aerith and Cloud, and that will keep bringing her down. So you'll start to build up the stagger bar, which will give you another opportunity to do huge damage. However, make sure you watch out for her getting up, because she does an attack that really kind of stings you. So roll on back as soon as she gets up into the air. And then with these shards that come shooting out across the ground, you kind of want to be able to roll out of the way. However, that doesn't always work well. So make sure if you do get stuck with one of them, you switch on over to Aerith and use her fire to bring down Shiva to stop her doing the huge ice drop which comes from the sky. And then as soon as you've got her staggered, you want to keep on hitting up with as much fire as possible, because it's going to bring down her health really nicely, and her stagger is really long, so you can get in a lot of damage. You can add to this if you've got Ifrit as your summon, because he's obviously fire damage as well. So bring him out and he'll act like a third character while he's on the go, and he will do just a lot of damage to Shiva, especially if you throw in some of his summon abilities. However, it didn't feel like there was much that could stop Shiva when she goes into this cutscene mode and spins around you. So ideally what you want to do is make sure towards the end you keep all of your characters in good health. So keep the potions turning over, keep the cures turning over, and make sure that Cloud's got enough health to be able to make it through that section. And then you can see in the background just the benefit of having Ifrit as your summons, because he's pummeling Shiva and keeping her well distracted. So you can just get on in, build up your ATB, get on out, and then use summon abilities and limit breaks to be able to finish her off. You can see this last summon ability is going to do the job, and that is how I managed to beat Shiva in Final Fantasy VII Remake. Like I said earlier, hopefully the video helps you out. If it does, drop me a like below. You can also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, with the links on the left hand side, and check out the rest of my guide for Final Fantasy VII Remake with the links on the right hand side. Leave any comments, let me know how you get on against Shiva, and I will catch you next time.